started, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Congrats to Missouri. Played a good game. They were ready to roll and played better than we played. And if you look at their first possession, in our second possession, that's kind of how we wanted the game to play out. I think they had a 14-play drive there that ended in a field goal to start for them that ate up 5 minutes and 43 seconds of clock time. Our second possession was 8 plays, 76 yards that was able to chew up 3 minutes. And so, again, you have these game control elements where we score a touchdown and take the lead. And at that point, we go 4 straight punts, and they score 21 points. And our possessions there in that 4 straight punts were a total of 14 snaps. So, and then on the back end of that was the interception. So we didn't sneak up there in the middle 8, and they were able to separate from us. And I loved the counter punching by the offense. I thought, there's some really nice plays there for us to build upon moving forward. Thought we ran out of steam on defense, just playing too many snaps. And really, I think in the defensive performance, just too much space on the field, and felt like our tackling was exposed too. And so we'll take a look at the film and rehash all that. I think on the whole was, there's elements of our game that we still control to clean up. I thought there were too many procedural penalties on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Some of those are declined, but they lead to free plays for their offense. We got to be more disciplined in that. I think when you play against a good defense too, you can't go 3rd and 4 that becomes 3rd and 9 because you jumped the snap count. That's not a winning formula. So how do we maintain possession there in that stretch where we had 4 straight punts? How do we take some of the air out of the clock to keep the game within reach? And then I'd like to see the defense come out in the first drive of the second half and make a stop. But on the whole, again, credit Missouri for a good game, and for us, we got to set our jaws and get ready to go play on the road. So that I'm happy to open up for questions.
AJ Swan, Kane Patterson, and London Humphreys, do you have an update on their injury status?
AJ was available, just wasn't able to get the reps in practice. So we'll continue to monitor that moving forward. Kane Patterson, we have to get him looked at and get him imaged, and we'll have an update on that, early in the week. Who else? London Humphreys. London's battling an ankle that you limited him some this week in practice, and so this is kind of the wear and tear of the season. And again, he's a true freshman, so he's learning how to handle being hurt and kind of fighting through it. But we expect him to continue that fight, and hopefully he'll be available for us next week.
On Burton's 2 touchdowns, he was one-on-one with the safety. I know you guys focused a lot this week on trying to contain him. Was that part of the plan?
Well, it's they were able to split him out and beat us against our leverage. So you have a post player there and you have a middle hole player. And so in those situations, you're trying to funnel that back into your help, right? If you look at it, they oversplit them, so split them outside the hash. And we have to win on the outside edge there. I mean, it's essentially a bracket to the post. And on a slant, you're bracketing to the low hole player. So you have help there. It's just not outside of you. And as soon as they oversplit 3 like that, you have to play again as though you're funneling the ball inside to your help, but you're cutting off access to the you're widening that release, because if we can pinch it to the sideline, you're going to make the margins really small for them. And it's not that they're not going to get outside you, but you're just trying to widen that release as much as you can to make those margins really small. And the first one, honestly, I thought we had a chance to play the ball at corner, and we got to look at it on film. The second one, it was John that was playing them, and we just have to play it better. But it wasn't zero. Those were post defenses where we can leverage the route better to our help, and then pinch the margin down on the sideline too.
What did you see out of Ken Seals today?
I'm really proud of Ken. I mean, I think again we got to look at where we missed in that stretch where we couldn't maintain possession. And in so many ways for us, it's just to get drives and snaps right, and just get extension and maintain possession, because that's going to allow our defense to play at their highest level too. So the 3 and outs hurt. Obviously, the interception in the end zone hurt too. But really proud of him. I think he made some plays. I think he created. He had the run on the goal line to score, which was great to see. I thought he played with confidence. Found the back late. Found Seti on the sideline to convert there on 4th and 4. I thought the deep ball to Junior was as good of a deep ball as I've seen him thrown. I thought that there's a couple throws to Will Shepherd there that were really nice balls, and so there's something there to build upon. And I think that he was needed today, and he stepped up and really led a charge back there in the second half, where it felt like we were just one stop away. We weren't able to get the stop.
Maybe it's not fair to ask you this now because you hadn't seen the film, but I know they only got 1 sack, but they had a lot of pressures. Were the breakdowns there on the line, was that on Ken for holding on the ball too long at times, or was it some of both?
I will have to look at it to answer that in detail. Obviously they have a good rush. I felt like some of it is, when you're not open, we've spent so much time talking about decisions with the ball, that if we're going to take sacks or we're going to throw the ball away. I mean, we have to be disciplined in our approach. So we don't want to force those down the field. We got to get open. And so I think there's three elements there, right? It's the protection, it's the receivers running the routes to get open, and it's the quarterback making the decision through his progression. And I can answer more specifically after we have a chance to watch the film. The one obviously that was really challenging was that the last 4th down where we needed to jump in and get the conversion there, and weren't able to do it. That's a good defensive front. Credit to them. Obviously, we'll look for the ways that we can clean up and be better next time.
Clark, how valuable does it have somebody like Ken to turn to a quarterback when a lot of teams don't have a backup quarterback with that level of starting experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's an independent of the experience. I mean, he's a warrior. I've talked about him a ton in the past. I got so much respect for him. I'm really proud of him, and I'm disappointed in the game. Obviously, we want to win, and we're experiencing the pain of growth, and we want to be ahead of where we are, and I think that's really normal. And I know that in the locker room, those guys are hurting. I think I asked them to fight for the ball better, and they did that. I think, again, there's a lot for us to clean up. But in this moment right now, I'm really proud of Ken Seals, and I'm really glad to have him as a part of our program. And I think he's totally representative of the program that we're building. I think I'm missing an opportunity not to shine a little light on the fact that here's a guy who has experienced all kinds of ups and downs in his career here. And as a young man has continued to have his jaw set and step into the fire and maintain a commitment to his teammates, and just inch by inch, day by day, improve his play, and bring spirit and connection with the team, and that's a guy that's going to be wildly successful, because not many people have the resolve and the resiliency to do that. Now, he's our quarterback, and as of today, he's our starting quarterback. We'll keep evaluating that as we move forward, and obviously, we want to play the best 11. But the challenge now is for him to elevate his game too, and we feel like we have weapons on offense. I think again, it was great to see Junior flash. I thought Will Shepherd came on late. I thought he caught the slant and the conversion early, and so having someone to facilitate the ball to those guys will be critical, and Ken will look at this and he'll be better moving forward too. But again, just to take the opportunity, and I appreciate the question. Ton of respect for Ken Seals. Really glad he's a part of our team.
You guys had a number of notable recruits here visiting this weekend. What kind of is the message to them, given that, as you've said, you guys are behind of where you want to be season-wise?
Yeah, I mean, this is, we don't, they didn't choose us because they're trying to jump into something that's ready-made. I mean, that's not a part of our recruiting pitch. They understand that we're building, and building takes tough people, and it takes people with vision, and so this right now is a program of vision. Where are we headed? We're obviously not playing at the level that we want to play. And some of that is we can squeeze and draw so much more out of our own performance. But another part of that is the growth and maturity of a program that is transforming a roster over time. And I think they see the young players that are stepping in and making plays, and they're excited to jump in and be their teammates. They're also excited about the impact that they can have too. It's a part of it. So we don't sell something in recruiting that we're not. Right now we're a work in progress. This is a program that's building. It's, we're like the stadium right now. We're under construction, and what those guys can see is the vision for where we're headed. And you can close your eyes and imagine that stadium and filled with Vanderbilt fans and with a team that is playing forward and playing on their toes and putting pressure on the opponent. That's what they see, and every day up until that moment, we're experiencing things that are going to deliver us there, right? So the pain, the disappointment, the frustration is all a part of the journey to become the great program that we know we can become. We weren't that today, but that's why those guys are there in the stands, is because they're signed up to make us better.
When did you make the decision to start Ken, and did you prepare or call plays any differently, knowing that he was the one out there?
We made that decision early in the week just because we knew that AJ was going to be on a pitch count, and we need to prepare. We need to practice. I mean, we need guys that are locked in and taking reps in practice to build the chemistry, and we just weren't going to be able to get that done with AJ this week. So as far as calling plays differently, we didn't call anything. I mean, that was our offense, and I thought it was run pretty well. Obviously, we got Walt in for a snap. We believe in Walter, and part of this is just getting him some game experience too, to where he can maybe impact winning for us as the season goes on. And today he was our backup. AJ was available, but we're going to continue to try to work him into the plan and get him some plays to get him some game experience and see what he can do.
One more.
You talked earlier this week about the lack of spirit. Did you see that spirit this week? That level of spirit that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the energy on the sideline was great. I thought the play on the field reflected a different attitude. I mean, some of those runs were hit at the line of scrimmage, and we're pushing the pile for 4-yard gains. Look, that's not winning football, but that's the attitude that we want to take to the field every time we play. And again, I feel like there was more for us today. It just seemed like in that middle stretch of the game, we could not sustain drives and take snaps off the defense, and then we struggled tackling in space. And there's some young guys out there playing. I mean, you got a bunch of freshmen that are out on the field at corner and at linebacker, and all that to say, I did feel that the energy and the fight were reflective of the program we want to be, and that's a starting point for us. So now we take that, we replicate that level of commitment to the fight, and we clean up the details of the performance, the execution. And for us to have success, we got to do that. But the entry fee for us is having energy and spirit, and the guys did that today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.